Right off the bat, Oliver is a horrible friend. Let's get through this. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 3, Episode 22, This Is Your Sword. And this was an interesting episode. A little bit, yeah? No? Well, let's get talking about this right now. First of all, let's get into Thea's storyline of this episode, because to me, this was probably the weakest part about the episode, for sure, hands down. So, because what was Thea's plot? Thea was there just to bang Roy, because Roy came back, and instead of doing something cool or having something, productive for the episode, he was just there for Thea to bang. Okay, and there was a little tidbit at the end that Roy was kind of passing the torch to Thea, hinting that, hey, maybe Thea can be the new Red Arrow or Arsenal or Speedy, who knows. But, yeah, that's pretty much, it was just the end there that was really the most important part for Thea. Other than that, moving on. We also got Tatsu coming back, and she is helping Oliver. Why? Because, she's a good girl, I guess. And yeah, Malcolm brings her into Team Arrow and says, look, Malcolm lays down all the cards. He tells them Oliver's been faking all this time. He's only been doing this to kind of get info on Roz, and we're all gonna go there now and save him and rescue him. And that's what they all do. They all take a jet and they all go and save Oliver and Nanda Parbat. And funny enough, the Atom goes too, which is cool. I thought they weren't going to use him. I thought he was just going to have that one scene with Felicity, which it looks like he might be transferring over the company to her. He kind of said this was for her becoming vice president, but from what the paper read, it was a transfer. So is he going to give the company to her? Maybe I misread that a little bit. Maybe someone can clear it up in the comment section. But that's what I got out of it. And, they all go down to Nanda Parbat, kick some ass. But unfortunately, they all get arrested. And, Oliver, we find out, is conflicted. One of the cool things about the fight scene, though, that I should say before I skip ahead, is that we Katana is... Yeah, Tatsu is Katana. For those of you, Katana is a character in the comics, and it was cool, finding that out in the I saw the trailers last week, and I saw the character, but I didn't know that Tatsu was supposed to be that character, and then I read it up on Wikipedia, and so remember, guys, I'm not too much knowledgeable when it comes to the comics. So I only read about these characters after I after I see them on TV or the movies. So now I know she's a comic book character. Okay. And I thought her costume looked pretty damn cool. I liked it. I thought she was pretty badass. But she had to kill Maseo, right? And that was kind of heartbreaking because, you thought they'd get back together by the end of the season. But no, they had a divorce, and it ended badly. That's why I'm still single. And after they're all captured, Oliver brings Diggle to a room to have a little confidential talk with him. And he realizes, because at the beginning of the episode, we realized that Diggle was very upset about what happened in the previous episode by capturing his wife and leaving the baby alone and all that. And Oliver's trying to, make amends, I guess. But Diggle, he's very hurt by it and betrayed, and as well as he should be, because what Oliver's been doing has been pretty, reckless and dangerous. It's weird because Oliver is supposed to be this smart character, how the first two seasons portrayed him, and I'll kind of agree with Diggle on this part. This is not Oliver thinking straight, and ever since the second half of the season, especially when his sister was killed. I'd say he hasn't been thinking straight at all. And I don't know if that's being intentional by the writers, but I want the smart and clever Oliver back. That's just me, but yeah. So they take Diggle back to prison, and Malcolm goes and sees Roz and confesses, "Hey, you have a spy within you, and his name is Oliver Queen." And Roz, to test Oliver, to make sure that he isn't the spy, or he's not lying to him, he decides to kill his friends with the virus right there in the prison in front of him. And Oliver has to just put on his manly poker face and just be like, you know what? I'm going to have to let my friends die. And in the flashbacks, while that's going on, Masao and Tatsu's son is dying, and we find out that there's no cure. So now we're wondering at the end of the episode here, what the hell is going on? What is Oliver going to do? What is that vial? Was that actually the virus? Or I saw someone come up with a theory on Twitter, maybe it was sleeping gas, but then Roz would have known about that, I think. So I have a feeling in the next episode they'll reveal that there is a cure, and Oliver found it afterwards. But maybe I'm wrong, but there's no other explanation, I don't think, unless he dumps them all into the Lazarus pit. That's my only other option, I guess, at this point, on what he could do. Or unless they're all, holding their breath all this time, which it didn't look like it. So I am going to say, I'm curious to see where they're going with it. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up right now because I don't really have much else to say. The action was pretty cool. I really like that scene where Adam was chasing the jet up in the sky. That was actually a pretty cool action sequence. Katana and Maceo having that sword fight was really cool. The action, action on Arrow is usually pretty good. This season, it's been a little bit of a step down from the previous 2 seasons, but it's still been pretty good. And this episode shows that, okay, they still have it. All in all, I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. There were some parts that I didn't care much for, specifically the Thea and Roy moments, which is weird because I like Roy as a character and I like Thea. I just, it was dumb what was going on between them in this episode and unnecessary. They could have handled it so much better if they wanted to do a passing of the torch kind of thing. Or even a reunite, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that again. But anyways, yeah, 7 out of 10. Not bad, not great. I'll get into what I think about the overall season next week, since next week is the finale. But for the most part, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. So until next week, guys, season finale next week. Can't wait. Hopefully it goes out with a bang and much better than these last 2 episodes. These last 2 episodes have been kind of meh for me. And, okay, so until next week, take care.